from our manufacturer in the very beginning. I spoke with him today, trying to work out how we can cut our downtime in between manufacturing. The problem is we are still a small company, so our level of manufacturing is not a top priority to this manufacturer who's manufacturing for Haagen-Dazs, for Dean's, for Breyers. We're basically a small fish in a very big pond, and the only way we're really going to be able to change that is to find a new supplier, manufacturer, or to grow our volume. And the first option is pretty much out because we had several different manufacturers in the past, and our current is by far the best, and he matches our recipe the best way it can be done. So we don't have much pull when we say when we get our product manufactured. It can be, from the time we place an order, it can be up to 3 to 4 weeks before that product actually gets manufactured, which can cause massive headaches to us. You know, whether we're running out of product, we have to time it just perfectly. Another issue would be our distribution. I mentioned that our current supplier, or distributor, rather, only trucks to each of our locations 1 day a week, and that day for delivery is not necessarily negotiable. It's when they are in that area on a fixed day, we have to tell our client that's going to be your delivery day. So like I said before, we're in negotiations with a new distributor who can distribute 6 days a week, anytime, no fixed delivery date, whenever they need the product, it's there, and their trucks' engines never stop running. They are running all the time. So that has had a major influence on what the clients we've been able to land versus not, and customer service. When they want their product, they want it, and they want it soon. So we can't really be affected by that. You know, I would say we're somewhat unique. We are funded by, I would say, a lot of capital. We have lots of cash. However, just like every other business, you know, we try and cut back and watch every penny, squeeze every penny we can. Even though, ironically, our wholesale business is up dramatically. We've grown several 100%, and it's able to carry our retail locations quite nice. But the simple fact of the matter is we have to watch our dollars because nobody knows really what's going to happen, and we don't know. I would say we don't know what's over the next hill. You know, a lot of our financial backing through the main owner, he's spending a large amounts of capital on many other projects right now, and he's not necessarily happy to go out and spend more money to do more business. So every expenditure we make has to be key, and I have to justify it very well to him. There are. We are actually in a legal issue right now with somebody who we had how should I put this? A verbal agreement. I was not party to this deal, but essentially he is now using our name and logo, and we requested that he do not do so, and now it's gotten into a messy situation where, you know, our lawyers are having to address this. There's also some issues with fraud on his part, so we're trying to deal with that. For politics, being in Oak Park there's a lot of politics to play. We are in the historic district, so any changes we want to do to our location is very difficult and it's very hard to approve. For example, like the signage on our building, everyone's known that sign. It's been there forever and ever. And well, you can't just take that sign down. You have to follow, the path that the city tells you have to do, and you kind of have to wheel and deal with these people to see, well, are we grandfathered on this? Aren't we? How are we going to redo this? Where can we put this signage? Not just that, but who do we need to talk to actually get this done? Because there's constantly a backlog. We can't be dragging our feet. If we're going to do reconstruction, we have a certain window to do it all, and it's during the winter months. Well, those months are here. So we need to move things through, and we want to do everything by the book, but we just don't want to drag our feet. So it's constantly dealing with that. Sure. I would say our targeted consumer, like I said, is very different. We have the wholesale side and then the retail side, but how we go about servicing or selling to them is very different. However, ultimately, the targeted consumer wants the same thing. They want the super premium product that reminds them of their childhood or the good old days when all ice cream was like this. So we are a true super premium ice cream, and that's our industry. Even our direct competitor is legally can be classified as a super premium brand because they meet the legal specifications. Our product goes above and beyond those standards to the actual maximum levels of the definition of super premium ice cream. So that would be our key differentiation, and that comes through in taste. So we're able to use that as a true selling point.
You mentioned what it takes to be a super premium brand. Can you kind of explain that a little bit more just so you know what we're working with?
Sure. Legally, when discussing ice cream, you have different classifications, and it comes down to what you're putting into it. The key definition is the butterfat content, and there's many different ranges of it. To be classified as a premium ice cream, you have to meet 12% butterfat. To be considered a super premium ice cream, you have to meet 14%. Now, Peterson's ice cream ranges between 16 and 18% butterfat, depending on the flavor of ice cream and what's in it specifically. Now, the maximum a super premium ice cream can have in it is 18% butterfat. So we're right up there at the top. Anything over 18% butterfat is no longer considered legally ice cream. It's considered custard.
Oh.
So.
And then can you kind of just so we know, where would these be, or where would Oberweis be on that continuum?
Oberweis would be considered probably right around 14% to maybe 16% if that flavor has high nut content or such as like butter pecan. And Edie's would probably be I would say 8 to 10%.
Okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah. And then, the typical, let's say you're getting soft serve at McDonald's or something, you're looking at right between 2 and 4% butterfat.